Members of the board. From Boardroom Productions, it's Boardroom Banter. Featuring your chairman of the board, David.
What is happening, everybody?
Chief Mayhem Officer, Derek.
Yo, 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 what is up?
And myself, Greg, your Chief of Obscurity. The following content is explicit. Discretion is advised.
Welcome, everybody, to Boardroom Banter. My name is David. To my left is Derek.
What is up?
And to my right tonight is Mr. Greg.
That's me.
Hope everybody had a great week. Here to start the weekend off the right way. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, follow, hit the bell notification, whatever it is on whatever platform you are on. We would greatly appreciate it. It helps it go a long way.
Do something.
Something. I don't know. Beg.
Yeah.
Are you begging again?
No, I just said do something.
Oh. Okay.
We dare
Is that a
you.
challenge?
I don't even care if you turn
It
your
is a
computer
challenge.
off. Just fucking do something.
Yeah. Just sit
Like
there
me.
like a nothing doer.
Yeah.
Be like the shortest fucking podcast watcher ever, and within a second, turn your computer off. Just do
Yes.
something.
Something.
But don't worry about going to the start menu and selecting,
No,
shut
just
down.
straight
if
from the
if it's
fucking
Windows
power
11,
button.
you're not finding a start menu really anymore anyway.
flag
Or even
icon.
10.
Yeah.
That's actually okay. Yeah, so that's one to talk about.
What?
So here I am, fucking old school, right?
Okay.
Like I've always got told on computers that you have to go to the fucking, little menu. You have to go to the thing that says shut down, and you have to fucking do it in a proper way and this and that. And my kid, so he just built his first computer, which is pretty fucking cool, right? 14-year-old, spent a couple $100 online, got a graphics card, got a couple other things, built his own computer.
So he built his own computer,
Yeah.
put in the graphics card.
Put it in the graphics card, build his own computer, and so like I'm going in his room, I'm looking at this thing. It's pretty cool, He can't play any cool games because it doesn't have like the capacity to hold that kind of graphics on it and stuff.
Yeah.
But when we're playing, like when I watch him playing and stuff, I'm like, okay, dinner time, whatever, or come out, hang out with us. Like he's just shutting it off from the main thing. And I was like, you can't do that with a computer, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you can't. Like, that's against the fucking laws of computers. Like, you're going to ruin it. And I went on this big spill, and then he showed me, like, he backs up his stuff. He showed me a bunch of articles that was like, that's actually a myth. Like, you don't have to shut it off from there. And then he talked to his grandpa, which his grandpa builds computers and all this other shit. And he said, too, that was basically like a myth, that it doesn't really hurt shit. You could erase not saved content, some other stuff if you don't do it right. But like,
Yeah.
I guess actually shutting it off from that main, switch doesn't do anything. I don't know.
Well, back in our day with the older Windows versions and stuff, it was a problem. It could jumble up some of your. It would make you start up in like safe mode, and there was the potential that data being processed would be lost. It might throw off your BIOS commands. But these days, there's more fail safes in the software. And also, you can actually, this is true for your Windows computers, not sure about Apple, but you can go in to your preferences and change what your computer does when you hit that button from going to, it's a different world.
Like, I'm only fucking 36, but it's like, my kid, I'm like, don't turn your computer off that way. And it's like, he's like, fuck. Like, it doesn't even matter, Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that. I don't know. I'm just feeling like that old man, I guess, the last year with some shit, like saying the shit my dad would say to me when I was younger and some different shit. And I'm like, I'm fucking turning into that old man, I think.
You're the old man testing the handle strength on the rake in the hardware store.
Yeah.
Walking half bent over. That's a good rake right there. It'd take me a season to snap this one.
Something, bro. Like,
I have no opinion on this.
David's been there for a couple years.
Yeah.
He's already been the old man with get off my fucking lawn since he was like 27.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood and Gran Torino is my fucking spirit animal.
That is a good fucking movie.
That was the greatest movie. I had my wife watch that and she bawled her eyes out.
God, though, that type of movie, though, like, fuck, that would be so racist these days.
It would. I saw that in the theaters too, and
Yeah.
it was amazing the amount of different people that were in there for that theater.
You kind of forgive him because how old he is, even in that
Exactly.
fucking movie, and it's like,
And then you get
don't
the
know
arc.
better.
And then you get the full arc of going
yeah.
from what he was to what he became and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a good.
Clint Eastwood in his fucking older days, like even doing that one movie where he was like a drug mule for the fucking cartel driving,
Yeah.
like,
No, I think it was called The Mule.
yeah, like fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like just incredible acting, but like who would suspect a fucking old man looking like that, you know?
He is one of the ultimate badasses of the silver screen.
All of his old westerns too, which I still watch. Outlaw Josie Wales, Pale Rider, all those.
I can't watch that old shows, man.
Oh, dude, the old westerns that he made are still fucking. They're great.
With how
Classics.
good graphics are and shit are on TV,
It ain't
like,
even about. But see, that's the great thing with old like spaghetti westerns like that. You don't.
yeah.
You don't need
it matters.
graphics or anything like that.
I do.
No, not with that, because you didn't need CGI to make movies like that.
No, you didn't back then, but we do now. And if we have that capability,
Jesus Christ.
that's like, let's go back to Disneyland in 1998 compared to what it's like now.
A lot of it still kind of is the same.
True.
Yeah,
A lot of it is.
just a new coat of paint.
Pretty much.
That fucking
Pretty
small
much.
world
And a
ride,
new-
I swear to
A new
God.
soundtrack uploaded to the animatronic things.
Right. Speaking of soundtrack, this Boardroom Banter Ale's the soundtrack of my taste buds.
Oh. Is it not sponsored?
It is not sponsored.
Oh, man,
It
that
is not
sucks.
sponsoring us.
I thought it was going to be the taste bud of your destiny. That would have sounded
It
fucking...
may be the beer of destiny someday.
That's what your mom told him the other night.
My mom said a lot of weird shit to get laid, dude.
Yeah.
Like, probably, I don't know. I'm going to go to heaven and have a bunch of stepdads.
So that long, awkward, drawn-out silence our listeners were hearing there at the very beginning there when they were talking about computers. It's because my wife decided to open up the door and whisper my direction.
It was Sweet Nothings, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
Did she have a gnarly fart
No.
that she wanted to bring
No,
you
at
into
first
the
I
room
thought
for?
it was because like my dog may have been pissed off and like shit in the house because he does that when he gets mad. No, it wasn't that at all. Actually, it was to ask me if we could purchase some Trolls mini series for $15 on Amazon because the kid wanted to watch it.
Well, you know.
I said no.
You're a troll.
Jeez, David.
I
It's
said
for
no.
kids, David.
I said no.
You're like, no.
I said watch the Trolls movie that's fucking I already bought for you.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, David.
What? Then I told Amelia, I told her, I was like, that costs money, kiddo. No, it doesn't. And I'm like, you don't even know what money is yet.
Nope, no concept.
Yeah. So, actually, what I should have done is I should have taken all of her money out of her potty jar. I said, all right, can I have all the money out of your potty jar? You can buy it.
She would have said yeah.
She would have
Yeah.
because she wouldn't have known any different.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I like the concept, but we're a little too young still.
Yeah. So,
Bro, that's the thing. So you got to teach the kid a value of a dollar. You know, and that's why I was telling you guys. That's why I'm buying $100 car.
I mean, it's very doable with what you're
mean,
trying to accomplish.
Is it all pieces of the same car?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it looks 90% there.
So it's a daily driver. It was during this last ice storm. They slid out and smashed something. The fucking front bumper fell off. But as I can see in the pictures, like I zoom in, the tires are still good. There's no like the condenser, the radiator, it all looks good. So it looks like it needs a light and a bumper.
A light and a clip? A light and like a front clip or
Yeah.
bumper
I mean, I'm gonna have to
bezel
do-
or whatever it's called.
So it's going to be a lot of fabrication. I already know that because I bet you every fucking clip's broke off of it. But
Clean title.
yeah.
Oh, all right.
Clean
Even better.
title.
All right.
One owner rear, two owner front. Yeah. Yeah.
You can gypsy fix that.
But I mean, like the backs
Oh, yeah.
there, the side is there.
Yeah.
So I will buy it for $100. And like I was telling the lady tonight, I was like, worst case, like I can scrap this thing for $2, probably. You know,
$146. Yeah.
that's $46 in a win.
yeah. That's a 50% of your investment
Yeah.
profit.
But it's like
Almost.
I told her, I was like, you know, the kid's 14 right now. He spends an incredible amount of time on screens. Like, wouldn't it be cool if I bought this car? I've got a little beginner's mechanic tool set that I bought for my motorcycle. And I was like, like, what if he starts working on it? Like, I'll help him. I'll show him what to do. Like, we put a bumper on it. We put the front light on it. He cleans it up, gets it presentable. We sell it. And who knows where that can go in the next couple of years. Like, we sell it. We get some more money, buy something else, sell it. He's 2 years away from his license. Like, I think it'd be a pretty cool opportunity to, like, he could upgrade to a pretty cool car by the time he's 16.
Yeah. It's very doable. Very doable.
Absolutely.
And I think we'll teach him something. We'll teach him some value. We'll teach him how to work on a car.
Well, and maybe when he gets around to getting his own rig, he'll be a little more cautious before he just goes out and bangs it up.
Yep.
Well, that too. Starts charging money for rides.
So I don't know.
Do they charge their friends money for rides? I remember doing
For gas money?
Yeah. I used to do that I remember doing that all the time.
Fuck yeah.
Like, hey, let me get a ride. You have $5. What?
Ass, gas, or grass. Nobody rides for free.
Exactly.
There was a bunch of us with that bumper sticker inside of our rigs.
Yeah.
Curious if that's still a thing with the...
Bro,
Venmo it.
period. You could also go to McDonald's with $5 for lunch and be a fucking king.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Jack in the Box. Woo!
Get a bunch of those
I
fried
spent $30.
tacos.
I remember I did. I spent $30 one time at Jack in the Box, and I thought I was going to explode after I ate all that food.
Oh, I
I'm
bet.
surprised you didn't. Like, bend over and just fucking...
Who are you talking to?
He
true.
did explode the next day into a toilet.
I mean, I've had waitresses question my ordering.
Like I told you earlier, I'm going to fucking enter you into a food eating competition without you even knowing. And I'm just going to take you to it and show up and be like, here you go.
Without your consent.
I'll still lose.
Eat it now. I mean,
I was fourth place. 20 tacos.
As long as you
I should have.
See, it's the thing though. Like if you're doing a taco one, was it single or double shelled for the tortillas?
I can't remember for the competition. I think they were doubled.
See, and that's where if it was single tort, it wouldn't be as hard. As long as you keep some water in your mouth with it each time, you're only doing like 1-2 chews and you're swallowing it whole.
So the thing that sucked
And
is
carne asada goes down like a fucking pill.
Right.
So they were all carne asada, but they were like pre-done a couple hours before and all sitting in trays.
So it was rubbery.
So it was rubbery and dry. Like
Yeah.
no matter how much sauce I put on it, like I was choking just to swallow it. To where before, like those little dollar tacos, it's a fucking one biter,
And it's all the tortilla.
Like I could bite it.
It's getting that tortilla re-wet again.
It might have been one tortilla.
You have a little water just to hit with that, just to soften that up with your saliva.
It's so fucking gross, though. Dude, I almost fucking threw up. Like, when I watch these guys fucking dip their hot dogs in fucking cups of water to drink them right.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking during this fucking
why they do that,
competition,
though.
I was like, I had my cup of water and I dipped one taco and ate it and almost fucking threw up. And I was like, this is not worth it.
That's why they do that, though, is because all they're doing is just soggying up the bread because they're doing 1-2 chews of the hot dog and swallowing it whole, basically. The bread gets soggy enough
If
that
you can do that
swallow it
without
down.
throwing up, soggy bread and me don't fucking go together.
No, I don't like that texture either. Like bread pudding is one thing.
Oh God, bread pudding!
I love bread.
I don't
pudding.
care what.
Oh,
If
that's
there's,
fucking
if
good.
I ever, it's so hard finding restaurants that do that anymore. But any restaurant, if they have it, I don't give a shit how full I am. I'm ordering bread pudding. Because I just want to see how theirs is. Every place is so different with how they cook a bread pudding and how they make it and everything.
Yeah.
So I always have to have
Jim's Family Restaurant, I used to fucking get a bread pudding every time I left there every
It's
night.
like the dessert, dude.
We
I
used
don't
to
give a
go to-
shit who you are.
Old Country Buffet.
Oh yeah,
Get the bread pudding there.
Hell
or
yeah.
Granny's Buffet.
that is my kryptonite of desserts.
Yeah.
When you just said Granny's Buffet, it was like kind of like a Cinemax porn title in a way, like
It's-
how you
well,
said it.
We
He
used
kind
to
of had
take.
that. He had lust in his voice.
Didn't you
he?
hear that? It
He
was
had-
like the
there
way
was-
he said buffet after Granny was like, ugh.
I'm an incredibly large man. I have a romantic relationship with buffets. I have seen
You
them.
got out now.
Yeah.
You already pay. You eat too much food. Get out now.
I have seen them look for the close sign as I was walking to the door.
Bro, at least your last name. So I had an Asian teacher one time, and I'll never forget it because, Derek Morais. Derek Morais.
Morais, please.
Morais. Like, that's all I can remember now. It kind of scarred me, but she used to yell at me, Morais!
More eyes?
Morris, but it would sound like more rice to me.
Oh, okay.
Like
more
more
ice.
ice?
I was thinking more eyes, but I can see more ice.
And then. But getting back to what you were saying, Derek, yeah, I'm with you on the like dunking the hot dog bun in a cup of water.
That's delicious.
That's nasty.
What are you talking about?
Bro, that just brought up another memory.
Cup
I
of
was at
gravy.
fucking Camp Tracy Aviary as a Boy Scout. And my grandma, bless her fucking heart, made me some fucking incredible sandwiches. But real mayo in the sun and like 90-something degrees and like 6 hours. And like I went and took a bite out of that son of a bitch. And not only was the bread soggy, but the taste of like the mayo fucking going bad. Like you want a tangy zip to your fucking Miracle
when
Whip.
it stops becoming mayo and it turns clear.
Oh, fuck, dude.
It
Like
separates.
the Scoutmaster felt so bad he gave me his fucking lunch.
Oh, yeah.
You can just smell it when you take it out of the zipper bag. Or
Yes.
Oh, dude, it was fucking foul.
To get away from the foulness real quick, I just got a message from my wife.
That Trolls has been bought.
No, it's on fucking Netflix. All of the season 1 is on Netflix, so she didn't have to come in here and fucking be a douche and bug us. Jesus Christ.
You're so glad she doesn't listen to every episode where you just called her a douche. She'd fucking roundhouse your ass.
Tune in next week where we find out if David has a black eye and bruised testicles.
No, my daughter does that right now. I need to invest in a cup. Fucking A.
Oh, yeah. When they're this age
Dude,
and that height, dude.
that
it's
kid-
bad.
We're moving the bunk bed to Greg's garage.
That kid has fucking dropped me to the floor a couple times instantaneously, and then she just looked at me, Dad, what's wrong?
Yeah, as you're throwing up on your shoes. My son from age like 4 till, I don't know, just a couple years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay, that long. So I really do
Yeah.
should invest in a cup then.
I fucking Googled this, okay? Because I get it. Childbirth is fucking painful.
You ever seen it?
Fucking hurts. No, I don't want to see it. All my grandpa told me.
You know, they say it's magical, right?
You know what my grandpa told me? If you ever see what comes out of there, you'll never want to stick your dick back in it. So stay on the other side of the curtain. And luckily, I haven't had kids. He's a fucking wise man. So I listen to Grandpa. You know, I'm sure you've seen what. Yeah.
Buddy, I mean, I've seen a few. Never
I've seen
actually
a few.
physically, I never physically got to give birth in the field.
Yeah.
It actually became like a running thing after a while because after all the years that I had not, it finally just became a running like, oh shit, it's never happened. Like, let's see how long we can get. My entire career, I never actually did it in the field. The
Wow.
closest I came is we got called for a birth in progress, and we got to the front door, and the fire crew literally 2 minutes before we got in delivered.
Oh, wow.
That was the closest that I'd ever gotten.
the
And
head
so I was
was
like,
already
and
out.
so I was like, wow, the streak continues.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm such a sadist. When we had our kid, you know, they're like, okay, sir. You know, it was like some fucking chick. You know, he's like, well, stay behind. And I was like, what? I can't watch because it was a C-section.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I can't watch. I was like, I want to see you guys open the Ziploc bag. Come on, let's, you know. I'm just that guy. I don't blood, guts, like that shit don't bother me. I'm like, let's watch it. Let's see it.
Yeah.
But whatever, they didn't let me. I guess maybe they've probably had guys that are squeamish and passed out, and then all of a sudden they become a patient themselves.
You probably
Because
would have
they hit
passed
their head on
out.
the floor.
I
Huh?
would have passed out. Fuck.
Not me, man. I would have been like, oh, check that out. Ooh.
Well, I'd like to weigh in on this.
But like, you need a hand? I'll get in there with you.
So to every female that's going to bash me on saying this, you know our email. It's
We don't have any females that listen to us currently.
Oh, yeah.
We finally have some data driven now.
oh, is there no females that listen to us?
We are 100% male at the moment.
Really?
He-Man Woman Haters Club.
minus that Garfield bitch.
So it's fucking like Little Rascals all over. He-Man Woman Haters Club,
Oh, I love that show.
right?
It's a great show.
Funny.
Okay, so back to the point.
That Garfield chick's probably trans anyways.
Not anymore.
Anyways.
But so I don't know. I did some research and I Googled it because, you know, you get hit in the balls and you look at a girl and you're like, that fucking hurts. And they're like, oh, it's not that bad. Suck it up. Like, give birth. You know, do this, do that. Like, I have read articles that getting kicked in the nuts is like, it's fucking comparable. If you get kicked enough times, it fucking equals up to childbirth.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh God.
especially, I mean, has any woman ever given birth that instantaneously vomits when they have contractions?
I mean, I've also heard people say, and of course I can't back this up with science because I've never had the displeasure of having a kidney stone, but I've heard that passing a kidney stone is pretty similar in pain to childbirth.
Oh, I've been with plenty of people that were in the midst of passing kidney stones, and it looked like the most uncomfortable thing.
Can you imagine shooting a pee out of your fucking piss hole, dude?
I'm good.
A fucking rock hard sharded fucking pea sized.
It's not just a sharded, dude. This is why it hurts so much. So you have your urethra, right? Your ureter, actually.
Your pee hole.
No. So you have a ureter.
What does that mean?
Oh my God.
I don't know. A ureter's like a Yoda man from fucking Star Wars.
So here, I will the kidney.
Okay.
From your kidney, you have what's called a ureter. That is the tube that goes all the way down to your urethra.
So I have a Yoderer.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Little green guy with green pointy ears.
So it's ureter to the urethra.
Okay.
Okay. So
that's the woman Yoda.
Oh my. So that is where you have your kidney stone starts in your kidney, right? So the entire time it is going through the ureter, which is just about as small as your fucking... It's actually a little bit smaller, I would think, than your fucking urethra. It is a small stone, and if you ever look at it under a magnifying glass, it literally has spikes all fucking coming out of it. It is shredding down your ureter the entire time
down
through
your
urethra all the way out, and it is just shredding. That is why it becomes as painful for most people as it does, is because the entire time
Yoda turns into Slash with how much he's shredding.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, dude, it's I mean, it's a piece of calcium and other minerals and stuff.
Here,
I'll give you a gross fact. So my uncle used to keep his fucking kidney stones in like a little fucking like plastic thing and be like, oh, look at that. And I'd be like, no, I don't want to look at that. But like, that's like, I know how, like, I've had a few relatives that like, it's hereditary in my family. Yeah. And like my grandpa had one the size of a lima bean, I guess. And and my other uncle had one so big, they had to go in and blast it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm not looking forward to that day.
See how spiky and nasty that looks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks painful.
Kind of looks like dried up cum.
Did your uncle save them up and make maracas?
See, it starts in your kidney, and then it goes there, and then that there
goes to the Yoderer,
enters your ureter there, and then it goes to your bladder, and then it'll hang around there a little bit, and you're like, oh, some relief, until it wants to go out of your piss hole.
The dark side.
And then it's, it's hell to pay all over again.
Right.
Yeah, see, try pushing that out of your fucking dick hole.
It doesn't look that big compared to his fingertip.
Well, neither does your urethra, hopefully.
Yeah. And all it does is just scrape down the walls.
Dude, I heard
the entire way.
I heard a story I got scarred over. I guess there's this guy in this like motorcycle club that likes sticking stuff down his penis hole to like get off.
There are people that are into that.
No.
Everybody has their kink.
How?
That like getting pegged. Why?
Fuck, man.
Guys that like getting fucking stepped on in the balls with high heels. Why?
Yeah.
Some of those guys enjoy that too.
Just like your boy there that you're talking about.
Not my boy.
Oh, okay.
Someone I know. I've heard of.
Not my boy. Of a friend who's close to who's close to someone very high up in the government.
Yeah, just not my boy. But
we're not friends, man. I just know the guy. We're not friends.
You do weird shit like that. Fucking don't call me on a Tuesday night.
He's just hanging out at home, finger banging his pee hole.
Sending a midnight text.
Dude.
What you up to?
He gets a picture, and he's not sure where the fingertip ends and the penis tip begins.
Oh, man.
It's one of those reverse butt plugs with the fucking horsehair. Fucking the ponytail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
I
reversed.
find that to be wrong.
Yeah.
A reverse one.
I mean, I think it's a good Halloween costume, but horsetails don't turn me on.
No. What if it was a cat tail? Raccoon tail.
Nah.
Foxtail.
What if it was a dragon tail?
I don't want it to make me think about bestiality.
Oh.
It's not my thing.
What if it was a puppy?
Well, I don't know. only if her butthole has puppy breath.
Oh, she'll let out a little. Get some puppy breath.
Clear out the whole room.
Good God. Put her on a turntable and put on the long rubber gloves.
Jesus Christ.
I hope.
Yeah,
You know-
it's nice to know that when I'm the ripe old age of 125, I can still get paid my benefits.
Right?
Whether I'm alive or not.
Who's getting that?
I don't know, 1 million people or something. There's a whole bunch of people out
there's
there.
millions that are on the list.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because the 300 and something, there is only like 1 or 2 on that list.
Yeah.
It's like Nancy Pelosi or something. No, you know what it is?
It's the Illuminati that's getting that money.
No, it's not the Illuminati. It's finally confirming that the lizard people really exist.
The Clintons.
Telling you, we've always talked about lizard people, right? We've never had proof. Now we do, because they're on the Social Security rolls.
Yeah, there you go.
Telling you.
Actually, that's a pretty good way you could go with it. I wouldn't mind seeing somebody research that and work that into Ancient Aliens or something.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Can we know the names of these people? Because what if it's like Abraham Lincoln is fucking receiving benefits? You know, like who wouldn't have fucking caught that one?
I don't think we'll ever see a name, but at least we're going to know that, for now, we know that there are people of such an age range that are on the rolls that are still receiving benefits.
Yeah.
Personally, I think they live deep underground and they have eyes that are not of human origin.
It's probably death row inmates. They probably still claim all their benefits. The fucking government never fucking says that they're dead.
There is that too.
Timothy McVeigh's been getting paid for years.
Probably.
Personally, I think they are actually somebody over in whatever terrorist organization that's just scamming and funneling, or it doesn't even have to be a terrorist organization. It could just be a crime ring.
I'm just shocked that I'm just shocked that there's people receiving Social Security that before the country was even founded.
Yeah,
I can't believe I wasn't smart enough to bury my grandma in the backyard and be getting these fucking benefits every.
You should have watched Shameless a lot sooner,
right? It could be where they get the money for that Nigerian prince who keeps sending me a letter asking me to send him a couple dollars.
That's
so
where
he
it
can
goes back
deposit
to.
it in my account.
It just goes right back into that.
Yeah. By the way, have you seen Shameless UK edition?
No. They have one of those?
Don't fucking do it.
They have a UK edition?
Dude, so the other night, I was sitting there, and it was like Shameless UK edition, and I started watching it, and oh my God, how fucking horrible. Like, even Frank Gallagher was disappointing. Like, he didn't even go as hard as the fucking American Frank Gallagher.
Oh, all right.
Well, it's pretty hard to beat that guy in a role anyways.
God, what a great show that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you want to absolutely watch one of the worst shows you'll ever watch in your life,
I'm gonna tell my
Shameless
wife.
UK edition.
I'm going to tell my wife there's a UK version now.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself?
My wife actually strangely really loves that show because she said
I love it too.
When we first got together, when we were watching that show, she looked at me and paused it at one point in time. She's like, I tell you stories about like or that I don't talk a lot about how I was, raised. I was like, yeah. She's like, this is pretty much it. She says, but worse.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
But so she has a strange affection for watching that show because I guess it's a reminder to her of like kind of where she came from.
Sure. I can understand that.
Oh my.
That is the UK.
Yeah, that looks very UK.
Bro, like just all the kids in it are just like
it looks like the cast of Dawson's Creek today.
Yeah.
Boy. All right. Well,
that's what it looks like.
It was one of the worst. Like I was like, oh, I love Shameless. Like I'm gonna watch this. No.
30-year anniversary of Dawson's Creek. That's what it looks like.
I wonder,
One Tree Hill.
Yeah.
and back to the Social Security thing. Can I collect it now then?
Yeah, can I get that in a lump sum for the last 50 years? That'd be pretty nice.
I will say at least Mr. Trump came out and said
President Trump.
President
Trump.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be so disrespectful. Actually said he's like, once we get this figured out and we get these people removed from the rolls, he's like, we've always said that Social Security is something that can't last, it can't thrive. We get all these people off, guess what? We're back.
Yeah.
Fuck OJ.
It's usable again.
OJ was claiming it the whole time his fucking ex-wife was killed.
Ooh, wow.
To that I say. Yeah, so was he collecting hers?
So why haven't we thought fuck man, why haven't I thought of a criminal scheme like this?
Well, it's
because you're not a politician and you wouldn't get away with it.
Yeah.
You're not high enough up on the food chain to get away with it.
You think the people that are actually getting this money off these people's like social security are politicians?
It could be. I mean,
kickbacks,
or it's ISIS?
You know,
All
a
of
lot
it.
of
Dude,
a lot
the
of it.
fucking USAID was funding ISIS.
Yeah, look how many. I don't know. Do you remember during COVID when the states were giving out pandemic relief money
Yeah.
and extra unemployment? Washington State got scammed out of millions.
Not millions, billions.
Yeah,
And they're still trying to recover that. They got
they're
scammed.
still finding fraud.
Yeah, they've only recovered like $5 billion of all the PPF loans.
And that's one state. One state out of I think every state did it. I mean,
What's a
all 50
PPF loan?
I don't remember what the acronym stood for, but it was loans for like businesses and all sorts of shit like that.
I'll admit it. So me and my ex, we went on like, what was it, the forbearance program, and we didn't even have to pay a mortgage for like fucking 6-7 months. And it never went against her or us. And
They didn't
like
tack it on the back end?
they tried to, but then we sold it and made a fucking ridiculous amount on it.
Yeah. Well,
Interesting.
I didn't stop paying my rent or anything.
No.
And when I got pandemic relief money, I actually paid my bills out 3 months. And then we just wrote it out until we moved here.
I'm half tempted to not file my taxes this year.
Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, I'm considering filing.
I'm going
for
to do an extension.
And just seeing where the tax laws go.
You could literally go online and do an extension under your social security number and
Yeah.
then just turn that in, and like you're not liable until
This is not
October.
financial advice.
We are not professionals.
No, not at all.
Just speculation.
Yeah.
That's all.
We're just saying the tax laws are probably going to change. Brackets have already changed for the year. I got a notification from TurboTax, not sponsored by TurboTax.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not. So, pay attention to your personal financial situation and seek a professional tax person if you don't know what you're doing.
Hey, they may be out of a job soon, so who knows?
Yeah. I mean, it could just not be a thing.
They're planning
Because that's
on,
the thing. You could do it online, but how much shit could you be missing out on if you don't have somebody doing? Like, yeah, you might.
Oh,
pay
you're
a
missing
little,
out on a
you
ton.
might pay a little extra.
They prefer you to do it online.
No, exactly. So that's my thing. So a lot of things, like a lot of medical things, a lot of like, let's say if you go see a counselor once a week and you're paying that copay, like that counts. Like you can write that off on your insurance. Like my insurance agent writes that off. Like that's $75 a week, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money a year.
You know,
in
they'd have to
medical
pay
bills,
for what I came out of
stuff
out
like
of pocket for.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I mean, if you talk to the right person and you they know what they're doing, like you're going to pay a little bit more up front, but you're going to get a lot more back in return.
Yeah, it is advantageous because there's a lot out there you don't know, and you can beat your head against the wall for months reading tax prep books, and reading the tax laws, and looking at your own situation. So,
These motherfuckers do it for a living, man.
Yeah, yeah,
And they're not going to put their ass on the line
No.
to get audited just to,
Yep. If you can't afford a CPA, go seek a tax prep professional.
That is financial advice.
That is financial advice.
But yeah, like fuck all this money that they're starting to find. And the only thing, so one of the things I'm really concerned about, which I read a couple articles on, is expose some of these, these fucking agencies that are doing like horrible things. But like, so I was reading like the National Forest Department, right? So you're going into these national parks. And right now there's a national park that had a line that was astronomical the other day because they had, it wasn't Yosemite. It was another really popular one, but they had fired like 4 people on the main gate where they let people in. So there's one person, tending the little post. So like the line was just ridiculous, but imagine that in the summertime.
No, again.
And the one guy, and then they fired another guy. This was Yosemite. They didn't know that they fired him, but they had let go the main locksmith of the whole.
Like I said last podcast, there's going to be some growing pains.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
No, there'll be growing pains. I'm just saying, like, that's going to be one thing that's going to,
it's going to there's going to be some suck.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's going to be some suck, but it will smooth itself out over time. Just
I
gotta have
agree
the
with you,
patience.
though. We definitely need to make sure we have enough people down there because it's not just about managing lines and emptying trash bins. People's safety is important in those areas.
And a lot of this fire shit that was going on, like, look what just happened to California, and a lot of these fire
Well, that's California.
Yeah, they don't tend to their forests the right
suck.
way.
They have so much.
I know they don't, but look where the fire happened in a community.
Yeah, but dude, they have so much.
Not a forest.
They have
No, I meant
so
the
much
parks.
ridiculous
Yeah.
red tape down there of things that you cannot do in the state of California.
No, states that I've seen take care of their fucking forestry is when, you guys know this. I go to a lot of national parks. That's what I do. Like we go out, we go camping, we go to national parks. Idaho and Montana. So Idaho actually brings all the deadfall and shit, and they bring it up to the roadside, which is pretty cool. Oregon,
Yeah.
you'll never see that happen. Oregon has so much fucking deadfall and so much shit in there. That's why it just California and fucking Oregon
half
goes
the
up. And
forest around here, you can't even walk 10 feet before
No.
you're just like, what am I doing in here?
yeah,
Yeah.
It's crazy how thick it is up
like
here.
as far as like Idaho and Montana, like they had their shit like under control. Like it was all clear. All of it was like brushed out and brought to the roadsides, and like I was pretty impressed.
Yeah.
Coming.
And that's how you grow well manicured, healthy forests. Now, I understand that the states here want to like add habitat for smaller wildlife. You don't have to thin it all out, but
No.
you have catastrophic fires that start as little tiny fires, but there's so much fuel you can't put them out.
Yeah.
It burns too hot anyways. But yeah, I mean, like, dude, like I said, the few times I've gone hunting the last couple seasons up here, man, there's areas I'm like, oh, this is nice, start hiking in. You get like 15 feet in, and then you can't even see 15 feet in front of you. It's so thick.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, whatever, I'm out of here. Like,
Yeah.
somewhere else, let's go.
Can't shoot nothing here.
Fuck no. Can't even see anything. Like,
No.
it's crazy. It'd be nice if they fucking cleared it out. Like, there's some forests, man. You go into like, you get into like the Midwest and all that kind of stuff, dude. It's beautiful the way their forests are because you see the trees. There's some foliage at the ground, little bits, but it's open. Like, you can see things. You can do things, whatever, Here, not so much. That's
No.
why Sasquatch is so good at hiding around here.
True. They're never going to find him when they keep the forest so thick. I think that's why they do it.
Probably.
There's probably
There's an agreement.
Yeah.
There's a treaty between the Sasquatch and human race.
Yeah, kind of like probably a better version of the treaty we gave Native Americans, right?
Probably.
Like, we're not going to give you casinos
Well,
or
they
tobacco
definitely
stores, but we'll give you anonymity.
I'll
There
say
we
the
go.
Sasquatch got bigger reservations, that's for sure.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere he wants to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you ask some people, interdimensionally as well.
There is that theory. I
Yeah.
don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Not.
No.
I think it's just a very large primate. that
Somewhere
is
stuck between the Neanderthal period.
I would say it's highly intelligent in
Yeah.
comparison to the human race in itself. They're probably not they're not technological or anything like that. But in terms of if they don't want to be found, they're going to make sure they're not found.
Yeah.
They are that kind of intelligent. Like,
Well, modern archaeologists, historians, and paleontologists all agree that Homo sapiens did cross paths with.
well, there was Gigantopithecus, which was went extinct, I don't know, like 10,000 years ago.
The fuck is a
13,000.
Gigantopithecus?
It's a very, very large ape.
Yeah.
Very large.
Well, there's
It's
Like how large? Like
Sasquatch
Godzilla?
size. No, we're talking like Sasquatch size large.
yeah, bigger than a silverback. Mm-hmm. And
We're
that's
talking
that's
like,
huge.
10 plus feet, 9 plus feet, right in there.
Fuck yeah. Imagine running into that motherfucker.
Sasquatch sized.
That was truly the king of the forest, I guarantee you.
Probably fucked everything up in its way.
It probably, but they were saying,
Short faced bear, fuck out of here.
yeah. Homo sapiens, they're saying, did blend in the timeline with the people, right?
Yeah, we fucked them. And they fucked us.
A lot.
That's why there's people that actually have Neanderthal DNA in them.
And
Yeah,
then we
with
fucked
the
monkeys,
brow
and
ridge.
that's why we have AIDS.
Yeah.
No.
I don't believe that story.
I
don't.
don't know.
No.
I don't think that's.
I know the theory, but I, don't
I heard
think
that
it's
story
true.
once.
Yeah, I remember hearing that in the 90s.
I mean, if it was a goat, I'd believe it, but
they're like, some guy went and had sex with a green monkey. They even named the species a monkey. Like, they found ground zero for HIV in this one monkey randomly
Yeah.
in the forest.
yeah,
No, that
it's just
didn't
like
happen.
a bat. At
Do you
a
think it
wet
was
market.
just, a couple, I just didn't
I
wanna-
think it was possibly some, lab
nefarious?
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, you had the same guy behind it, talking to everybody.
Yeah, true.
Very
Yeah.
same guy,
Magic Johnson's free of it.
and
No.
and botched.
Yeah,
botched it
he's-
just as bad as he did with the whole Rona, as well.
Magic Johnson is free of it. He's had enough blood transfusions and enough money and millions of dollars that he does not.
True, but
I
I've
can
heard
speak knowledgeably about, and being cured of HIV are two different things. And
This
what
is
you're
true.
talking about is
Yeah.
an undetectable status, meaning there are not enough parts per million of the HIV virus in the bloodstream for them to pick it up. But that doesn't mean that it's not there. Doesn't mean you can't transmit it, and it doesn't mean it can't go into full-blown AIDS in the future. They've made some big advances
Yeah.
in medical science with this through all the years of the different medications and therapies. And they did find out in one article, and I can't cite it at the moment because it was years ago that I read it, that they figured out if they could isolate the HIV virus in a fat cell, then they could destroy it. So the cure may be in the future, who knows, it may be sitting in a safe next to the cure for cancer or whatever else.
Probably.
You know.
I think everything's curable if you have enough money.
Well, I mean, you definitely get better treatment if you have enough money.
This is true. You get top
Yeah.
notch.
They
Top
did
notch.
they did figure out how to cure Hep C handful of years ago.
Oh, speaking of, I read an article last night on there is a doctor right now who did a trial on this 3-year-old kid who was diagnosed with autism.
Okay.
And kid was nonverbal.
Uh huh.
So obviously classic diagnosis for that one right there.
That's early age for being thrown in the fully nonverbal status.
Yeah.
But yeah, at 3 they should be making noise and talking and
but
stuff.
completely nonverbal, at
Yeah.
least per this article. And so the doctor decided to do a treatment on this kid with a cancer drug. And all it is it's just folic acid.
Okay.
High dose folic acid. And I guess it's for cancer patients is to try and keep their red blood cells intact during chemotherapy.
Okay.
Is really what that's for. Within, I think they said 6 treatments, he was verbal.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, wow, okay, finally something.
Yeah.
You know, considering I think it's like 1 in 10 kids now in the United States are diagnosed autism.
Yeah. Somewhere
Yeah.
on the spectrum, and
It's
probably
crazy.
more than that. And
Yeah.
a big majority of them are young males.
Yeah. So
And the problem with that is the young females go longer before it's figured out.
Yeah.
They fly under the radar more.
I believe that. But at least kind of nice to see that something may actually have a little breakthrough, at least on the younger side of it. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
On once you get older and you start developing more with more hormones and stuff like that. But when you're at that kind of age, when things are still really hormonally trying to develop big time, kind of nice to see that maybe there's a little breakthrough on that side of it with some kids.
Yeah.
Just kind of reminded me there when we were talking about treatments and stuff and things.
No, that's really good to hear, and it's nice to see that catch some traction, especially, and something to add to what you're saying. I'll be very interested to see if RFK getting dyes banned and some things in food that we all know are bad banned. It'll be interesting to see going forward if that number decreases.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It would be, I mean, it would have to be slightly generational before you'd see that decrease, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to take a while.
Well, because a lot of the stuff that's in our systems and in our bodies, I mean, most of it will never go away, but some of it's so built up in our systems, it's going to take a lot of time for it to empty from our system, almost like a detox in a way.
Right.
Because with your fat cells, everything like that, you hold on to a lot of shit. So it would take a long time for at least this generation, be more like my kid and your kid's generation,
Or their grandkids
coming up,
because
because
their kids,
because
yeah.
they're young enough that whatever heavy chemicals are in their systems, by the time they get old enough for having kids, by that time it should be gone. So it would probably
Right.
be that time frame when you would see
Yeah.
a change in autism rates dropping, I would think.
Well, there's definitely have been involved in the neuroscience a little bit and seen kind of how they test for this stuff. And it's really interesting because it could be genetic. It could be caused by traumatic brain injury. Mm-hmm. And in a lot of people's opinions, could be linked also to the heavy metals and ingredients in a lot of vaccinations.
This is true.
And there is actually, I met a gentleman whose kid had an adverse reaction to one of the shots he got when he was just a toddler. And this poor kid is all but a vegetable, just trapped inside his own shell. But he was your normal everyday toddler, got the shot, had the adverse reaction, swelled up, and then did a ton of brain damage.
Had brain swelling.
Yeah.
See, and that's why when like with our kid, like us personally, if I remember correctly, we only had, I think it was 9 or 18. I want to say it was 9.
That's a big range, 9 to 18.
Well, it's 9 to double that. But in comparison to what they're shooting them up with this today.
Yeah, and trying to do 4 and 5 of them at a time.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like we barely, when we had ours at our age, we barely had any.
Yeah.
Now, like when they were throwing them all, I was like, what are you, like they wanted to do HEP on her already.
Yeah.
She was like 1 year old and they were already, oh yeah, we need to do HEP A, B, and C. And I'm like, I didn't have those until I was like fucking 13 years old. Why are you trying to push that on a 1-year-old right now?
Yeah.
Sorry, no, thank you. We'll take care of that later. Like, just do I was like, whatever I had, and that's what I told the doc. I says, whatever I had when I was a kid, I'm sure you'll know that. That's what, give her what I had.
He threw a couple extra ones in.
Like, I'm sitting there, it's like, even like now, like doing the chicken pox, like, no, have a chicken pox party.
Yeah.
We all did. Have a chicken pox party.
I don't know,
Why do I need,
bro.
why do you need a shot for that?
For having a guy that had his fucking shingles in his fucking early 30s, I wish I wasn't exposed to chicken pox when I was a kid.
Well, if you get exposed to it as an adult and you haven't built an immunity or had a vaccination,
it makes it even
work,
worse.
Oh, I get it.
it's
That's what I was
really
saying,
bad.
though. But, like, fuck.
Yeah. But
I understand what you're saying, and shingles does suck. I've had shingles once before.
It was one of the worst things I've ever been through, and you can't
Yeah,
even get
it's
the
no
shot
bueno.
to prevent it till you're in your 50s.
Yeah.
Like, they won't even fucking offer it to you.
yeah, well, just saying, like I don't feel there's a need for chicken pox vaccine when natural immunity on something like that does
for
better.
the majority of people.
Exactly.
And a lot of parents don't know you have a choice.
No,
They're not told you have a choice. You go into the doctor's office, and the pediatrician nurse just says, okay, we're going to do these 4 shots today, or these 2 shots today, or...
Okay. But I made it a point with that doctor or pediatrician at the time, like, no, you guys, like, I was like, and I even pointed at her too. I was like, you look the same age as me. You barely had what she's going to have.
Yeah.
I said, she's going to be fine. Just give her what we had when we were kids.
Yeah.
Not that hard. You don't need to fucking load her up with all these chemicals at such a young age.
There are a couple specific ones. My wife would be able to tell you everything about them right now.
Yeah.
She's done more of the hardcore research than I have. I think one of them was the MMR, but they come with the RNA.
Yeah, they put a ton of shit in those.
Yeah, along with the heavy metal. So they put in something that can actually mutate your DNA and a heavy metal.
And you can't a la carte anything because you're like, well, I don't want that. Well, I'm sorry, but the one you want, that comes with the one you want. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, come on, what? No. Like, no. Come on. Just, here's your choice, sir. What would you like?
I see the need for the vaccinations in the world. I don't see the need for these vaccinations to contain heavy metals.
I'm not even up on my
that.
tetanus shot.
I haven't had, God, I don't even know the last time I had a tetanus shot.
I can tell you the last time I had one. It was 12 years ago.
Oh.
The Tdap that you get before your kid's born.
Mm-hmm.
You get it about, 2 months or so?
Wait, what?
You didn't get a Tdap?
No.
When my kid was born, I had to go down to the health department about 3 months before his scheduled C-section and get a Tdap.
No, they didn't.
It's like tetanus.
I don't remember that.
And pertussis and something else.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have been very fond of them trying to shoot me up with some shit.
Yeah. Well, I did it because it had been legit a long time since I had a tetanus booster. It had been over 10 years. And I was like, okay, well, if this is something they're recommending, maybe it was recommended, but they told me, like, you have to go here and do this.
Yeah,
They didn't say it like you have a choice.
Wasn't on my front, I'll tell you that much. But the only reason I would have remembered that is just because that would have stuck in my head because I know I would have.
Like, fuck you guys.
Exactly. Yeah. That would have been in my head.
Well, I
right
don't
there.
get a flu shot ever. I'm not one of those guys who goes out and gets a flu shot.
I've gotten the
year.
flu shot once.
And I worked on an ambulance for a living. Do you think I ever got a flu shot?
Didn't need to.
No.
You had an immune system
Bro.
from being on an ambulance.
Well, that was during the whole, like, what was it? It was during, the big scare of SARS.
Oh, SARS. Oh,
That was the
geez.
big scare of SARS at that time.
Yeah.
Bro,
Whatever. fuck
I
you
was
guys.
working at a Volkswagen dealership.
No.
And I remember they're like, oh, you get free flu shots this year with your health care. So I was like, okay, cool. I've never had one. So I signed up on the list. I went up there and I'm working a car deal when they come in, right? So they're like, okay, we're going to give you a flu shot. So I'm up there, I'm like, okay,
How soon did you go home?
give me a flu shot. They give me the flu shot. And the lady looks at me and she's like, okay, you need to sit here for 45 minutes. And I said,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you talking about? And she goes, you've never had one, right? And I'm like, no. And she goes, you could have a reaction to it and die.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And
you
she
told
was
me
like,
this after you give me the shot?
she's like, you can have a really bad allergic reaction to it, and like bad things can happen. I was like, well, two things are happening right now. I just got the shot and I'm working a fucking car deal. So I'm going to go back downstairs. If I pass out, call the fucking ambulance.
Yeah.
First of all,
Pop
right?
smoke.
So no, I made it through the day, but I woke up the next morning and it was the sickest I had ever fucking been in my life.
Nope.
And so like,
Wow.
it was so bad. I called my boss. I called the fucking company that came and did the flu shots, and they were like, well, yeah, we put the flu in your body. So you build up a vaccine over it or some shit. I don't know what
Build up an immunity. But the thing
Yeah.
is, every year the flu virus changes and mutates. So all you're doing is chasing. You're chasing it is really all they're
I
doing.
got so fucking sick, and I had never been really sick off the flu before, and like that year was fucking horrible, and I missed like 4 or 5 days of work.
Sounds about right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the most
last time I got
most
one.
I ever allowed when I worked on the ambulance was just it was required. You had to take the tuberculosis test every year, and
Well,
that's just
sure.
that's stupid simple. They just
Yeah.
fucking put a little fucking droplet underneath your skin and just check for it a couple days later to see if anything's wrong. And good to
same
go.
time, same thing every time you get booked into jail. They do a TB test.
Yeah, that was it.
Doesn't matter if you're booked in 3 days apart from each other.
Yep.
They
Well,
do one.
it's such a nasty disease.
Uh-huh.
And it's a pretty invasive test.
Yeah,
No, it is.
It's an easy one.
Yeah.
So I know
Yeah.
we had a couple guys that tested positive for being exposed to it. That's for sure.
See,
Is it just me, or is the panda looking at us like we're crazy today?
it's still winking.
Looks like he had a vaccine or two that didn't go
Yeah.
right.
You know,
just permanently-
when you stitch me together, you put some stuff in the wrong place. That's what he looks like.
He likes tater tots.
Now I'm all stupid and stuff. Oh, boy. Well, I tell you what, guys, I really can't wait to find out how much money we spend on things like
Dead people.
I don't know, snipe hunting contests for
You know that
people
exists.
in
There's
Bakalakashakistan,
Dude,
or
guaranteed something like that.
Have you ever
exists.
taken somebody snipe hunting? I have.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, it's really fun.
we did some snipe hunting with my kid and our friends' kids.
Oh yeah.
It's just like sending condoms to a third world country.
Yeah, $1 million.
They don't use
50 million, something like that.
$50 million.
50
worth.
million
Yeah, you know.
for condoms.
I mean, depending on what country it is, I don't even unless they're magnums, they probably didn't even fit the motherfuckers. So
Hey,
I would-
we remember we discovered this magnum is length.
that's
not
right.
girth,
That's right. That is.
Yeah,
not girth.
But still,
you know,
I beg to differ.
I just wish a lot of people here would use more condoms.
I beg to differ that a magnum is just length
You
and not
know,
girth.
it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the abortion rates would go down substantially if
Yeah.
bros would fucking use condoms more.
Totally.
Instead of just like, nah, babe, don't feel right. It feels so much better when you don't use it.
Or if they brought back metal hangers. Sorry, that was pretty bad.
I need a sip of
Hey, there's
In a really long time.
you can't fucking buy one.
No, all I
Not-
see are plastic ones.
the movie Mother Dearest ruined it for us all.
Do you know how easy it is to break into an older car with a fucking metal hanger too? Or like how useful it is to clean out your bong, to clean out your fucking drain of your bathtub.
It was the MacGyver of
It's-
fucking instruments,
It's
man.
the fucking tool that you need in your house.
I had a coworker at one of the casinos I worked at in my former city of residence, and this guy's nickname was El Gallo Rojo. This little redheaded dude named Chris. He's a pretty funny guy.
So he wasn't Mexican at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
White as the driven snow.
He wasn't those redheaded Mexicans that you see?
No, we just had a lot of Mexicans at our casino. And,
Oh, okay.
You know, a lot of
called him
customers.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a little crazy redheaded dude. Super loud. Called him the Shermanator once. He didn't like that very much. Apparently, he got called that a lot in middle school or something.
Oh, probably.
And I could totally see it. But Chris, if you're listening, I know you're laughing at this. He's also probably calling me a fucker. He's like, that fucking asshole. Now he just told everybody. All 37 subscribers know that I'm the Shermanator.
The Shermanator.
The Shermanator. He's like, fuck off.
Maybe he can get some royalties from American Pie. I don't know.
You'd get along with him. He's involved in sports cards.
Oh.
Or at least was last I knew.
Oh, that's cool.
Anyhow, where was I going with this? Man,
I just found them
coat
right there.
hangers. So we had a coat hanger hanging up in the break room specifically for him because he would lock his keys in his truck every other day, and so he'd use his wallet as a wedge. And
You wouldn't have a valet key after that point in time?
no,
I just found 50 strong silver metal still wire hangers for $16.99 with free shipping.
yeah,
That's probably cheaper than a standard set of 50 plastic hangers right now.
Probably.
I bet you there's someone in Colorado right now that wants to buy him, or Texas.
Holy shit! For just one hanger, it's $8.99.
See?
For a plastic one,
What? Why?
because it has, I don't know, loopholes on it.
Gotta love it. Gotta fucking love it. I don't know about you boys.
Is it about that time?
It's about that time.
Where can you find us, David?
Metalhangers.com.
You ever see that meme with the little kid walking around with the hanger stuck on their clothes that says, "Oh no, little Timmy, it's too late for that."
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify. Platform of your choice. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you made it this far. Give us a comment, whatever it may be. We'll see you next time. We love you.